Yes, we are back again with another Mario series of boss rankings, and we are near the end as we've done a lot. You can check out the other videos. We have ranked all the bosses from the best, from the worst, from the weirdest, we're going over everything. And today we are doing the easiest boss battles from every single Mario game. And we don't stop at the main line. We're going spin-offs, we're going, secondary characters such as Yoshi games and some of the Luigi's Mansion games. Yes, we are hitting the jackpot of Mario here as we go through all the Mario games to give you a list of a whopping 55 different Mario boss battles. So obviously for this list, we're going to try to stay away from mini bosses and the first bosses of these Mario games, as obviously the first boss is normally the easiest and mini bosses are very easy as well. Now, there's going to be some where we have to include them because there's not many boss battles at all, but we're going to try our best to stay away from boss battles like that. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario, and a lot of you watching this video are not yet subscribed. So stop what you're doing, leave a like and subscribe. It goes a long way. If you guys want to see more videos like this definitely helps. But let's jump into the video. Okay, so starting off with the classic Mario games, we have Super Mario Brothers, and I couldn't choose the first Bowser, but I decided to go with level 4-4, which is also very easy considering the fact that there's no obstacles on the stage, and really there's only a couple of fireballs that you have to dodge before getting to the end, so technically it'd probably be the easiest of all the Bowsers we see in the game. For Super Mario Bros. The Lost Level, I chose Bowser 3-4, mainly for the same reason, because the Podoboo just jumps up and down, and that's really the only thing you have to watch out for. For Super Mario Bros. 2, I would have chose Birdo, but Birdo feels definitely like a mini boss at times. So if I had to choose an actual main boss, I'd say Tri-Clyde, because all you have to do is pick up objects from the stage and toss them at him as he's shooting fire in one single direction. And that's what really makes it so easy, is that the fire it shoots just shoots in one single straight line in that same area. For Super Mario Bros. 3, I chose Morton Koopa because he truly doesn't do anything. He doesn't make the stage shake when he jumps. He truly just walks back and forth jumping slowly and barely ever uses his wand, and when he does, it's not hard to dodge. This is an incredibly easy boss battle. The easiest boss in Super Mario Land has to be Hi-Yoi-Hoi. I hope I'm saying that right. This literally comes down to just a couple platforming jumps and then you're done. You don't even have to fight this guy himself, just jump off the rocks that he throws in order to hit the switch. For Super Mario Land 2, I have two choices because they're both very gimbable. For Tatanga, you can just jump in the air and corner it, where you can continue to bounce off of his head until it's dead, and the same thing for Octopus, where you can continue to float right above him and hit him multiple times before he even gets out of the screen. I was stuck between Morton and Roy Koopa, so I guess I'll go Morton since he's the first one of the two that you fight. He slowly walks around the room like he's the most slowest Spider-Man of all time, climbs up the wall, climbs up the ceiling, and drops down. And all you have to do is a short hop to make sure you don't get shooken, and that's it. You hit him in the head. He's moving so incredibly slow, there's no way there's an ounce of difficulty in this, even when he does speed up. Let's take a roll over to Super Mario Pinball Land, where we have Egyptian Koopa. This boss battle is almost like luck-based sometimes, because it's so easy sometimes you don't even have to play the thing. Whereas sometimes Mario will bounce off the pegs back and forth so quick and just hit the Egyptian Koopa where you don't even have to worry about much. And lots of the time you can defeat this boss before your even safety pipe goes away. So it is an incredible easy boss fight for the second one of the game. So I can't choose Waluigi for Mario DDR since he is the very first boss fight, but I can choose Wario, which is a very similar one as well, where you're hitting fireballs back and forth, and you have to prevent them from hitting your bombs by just tapping on that corresponding arrow, which is pretty easy. It doesn't put up a test like Bowser does or some of the other bosses in this game, and all you have to do is just pay slight attention to where the fire is going and you should be okay. I don't know if Big Boo necessarily counts as a boss battle in Mario 64, but guess what? I'm counting it. And Big Boo is extremely easy, as you can either punch him, kick him, dive into him, almost sometimes jump into him. It is really just like 8 different ways you can take out Big Boo, and all you have to do is just walk around to his backside and hit him. It's really not hard at all, and the only thing that makes it difficult is when you fight it on the balcony and trying to not fall off. Super Mario Sunshine's Mecha Bowser is really not difficult. Maybe it's difficult to get in one go, but you get 3 goes around the track before you ultimately fail the level, and there's some times where you pull up right beside the machine, giving you an easy way to barrel stuff him with a rocket. For Super Mario Galaxy, I wanted to choose Mandibug Stack but that definitely felt like a mini boss. I'm sorry, yeah, it just, that's how I am here. But I chose Baron Burr because it's literally this little ice cube with a crown at the top of a hill, and all you have to do is go around and spin it in order to knock it to the ground, and then kick it. That's it. It just feels like an enhanced soccer ball. And then for Super Mario Galaxy 2, I chose Glamdozer, which is this giant creature where all you have to do is pound its underside by flipping on both the top and bottom sides of the stages. Her attacks are also extremely slow as she shoots these really slow lava balls at you, and you just can just go to the other side for one to dodge all the attacks. It's really not that difficult. Moving on to the 2D Mario games, we have New Super Mario Bros. DS, and I chose Cheap Skipper because all Cheap Skipper does is slowly jump out of the water, and you can honestly see the exact moment he's going to do it. It's so readable, it's clear as day. For New Super Mario Bros. Wii, yeah, the more I'm doing these lists, I'm finding out that Morton boss battles are just not good. Morton will slowly jump up and down in order to shake the screen, but it's not even this, it's his second appearance, which is supposed to be the harder version, is even easier, where all he does is slowly raise these pillars, which you can see coming from a mile away, and you can actually hit him before he even raises them, which is just too easy. New Super Mario Bros. U, it has to be windy. You have these icicles at the top of the screen, but they never fall. I don't even know how you're supposed to reach them unless you bounced off of Wendy's head on the side of the screen and like tried to reach them. But for the most part, all you have to do is wait for her to stop spinning and then just go jump on her head. It's not difficult at all. And then for New Super Mario Bros. 2, I wanted to choose Reznor because yes, he appears a lot, but he still kind of feels like a mini boss, and we all know how much I can't stand Reznor. So I threw my boy Morton in there again because literally he jumps out of a pipe from the top and you can just jump on his head before he does anything else. It's unbelievably easy. Moving back over to the 3D Mario games, we have Pom Pom, which even compared to Boom Boom is extremely easy. She throws these very slow boomerangs at you, and this was before she could even duplicate. All she did was throw a boomerang at you, allowing you to just hit her as she's standing in the middle of the room, which really was never that hard. In Mario 3D World, I chose Boss Broder, which is not hard because all you have to do is pick up his rock buddies and throw them at him. His only real attack is he'll spin in a circle and fire rocks at you, but it's so slow and the rock radius is also very small, so all you have to do is run around the outsides and you're a-okay. In Bowser's Fury, I don't have many bosses to choose from, so I had to go Pom Pom again. It's also extremely easy to see which one's the real one, and especially if you have Bowser Jr.'s assist turned on, he will automatically find the real one for you, which is even easier. In Super Mario Odyssey, I wanted to choose Madame Brood, but that is technically kind of one of the first main bosses in the game, so I moved over to Torque Drift, which I feel is also extremely easy. It looks terrifying, it looks like it's going to be intense, but in reality, all you have to do is hold one button in order to raise as the uproot and hit an obvious point in the middle of all the blocks. In Mario Kart DS, I chose Wiggler because it's just one giant race around Mushroom Bridge. It's not hard. I mean, literally you get stars and mushrooms everywhere, and you almost have to try to lose this race. Why not throw in some sports games? We have Mario Tennis Aces, where you have Whomp, which all you're doing is reflecting bullet bills back at him and dodging everything else that's on the stage. It's not incredibly easy though, considering the fact that lots of these bosses actually challenge you, but it's definitely an easier one compared to the others. And in Mario Golf Super Rush, you have this Sacred Flame Beast, because there's only 3 bosses in the game, and if I can't choose the first one, here's the second one, because it's just not hard at all. All you have to do is time down some button presses and you reflect its fireballs back at it like a golf ball. I said this before, I'm sorry, I've never played Mario RPG, and I thankfully get to now this year with the remake coming out on the Switch, but a lot of you guys said either the Hammer Brothers or Croco were the easiest bosses outside the very first one, which would have been Bowser. So I don't really know why, but if you played the game, you'd understand, I guess. I just read a lot of your guys' comments. Thank you for sending them in. Sorry, I will get to this game this year when it releases in HD, I promise. For Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, I picked Popple because there is a moment where you just fight Popple. Not even Rookie, not Birdo, no one else but Popple, and it's incredibly easy. He just occasionally tries to steal things from you and you defeat him extremely quick. In Mario Luigi Partners in Time, I chose Mrs. Thwomp because it also is very easy. It's just a bunch of scenes where she's breaking into smaller pieces and you have to hit the right one, which also isn't that difficult. And Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, I chose Cretin because it is extremely boring and also extremely easy. All you have to do is color coordinate your attacks. Mario jumps on the red parts, Luigi jumps on the green. It's that simple, and then he breaks apart, and then you just deal your mass damage on the little ones, which once again is just choosing the right one, which is easy to do. In Mario & Luigi Dream Team, this one's a little cheap, but I chose Beef Cloud because it's one of the few enemies that literally don't do anything when you fight it. It sleeps on the ground, meaning all you have to do is hit it with like one really big attack and it's dead. Sorry, it's the cheap way out, but I'm choosing him. Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, I chose Charging Chucks. I don't know if this really counts as a boss battle. The game counts it as a boss battle, so why not? It's just a bunch of Charging Chucks. They all fight you in a horde, so it's easy to attack them because all you have to do is jump into the middle of the horde with lots of their attacks. It's easy to dodge. It's one of the easier ones in the game. Hey guys, we are just about halfway through this list, so if you're enjoying it so far, stop what you're doing real quick, leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to see how many people we can get to subscribe to this one video. If you guys want to see more content like this, it definitely lets me know and it helps me out a lot. Thank you guys, and let's get back into the video. Next, let's move on to the Paper Mario series. For Paper Mario 64, I wanted to choose Tubba's Heart, and I thought that would be too cheap, but somehow I went even more cheap. I went with Kammy Koopa because you fight her with Peach at the very end of the game, and all you have to do is click Wish, where Peach will make a wish that Twink gets stronger, and you have to do this like 5 or 6 times by literally just clicking A, and then Twink will automatically attack Kammy Koopa. It's that simple. It's really just kind of like a plot story device thing during the battle with Mario and Bowser, but it still counts. You know what? I'm counting it. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, I chose Rock Hawk because he's supposed to be this big, bad, crazy, sweet, athletic fighting champion, and you can just completely kick his butt in just a couple of attacks. He has very easy to dodge attacks where you can clearly see his attacks coming, where he'll like shake the rafters or he'll like try to swing himself into you, and it doesn't even do a lot of damage. In Super Paper Mario, I chose Francis, which is just this nerdy technician lizard guy that walks back and forth on the stage, and that's it. He's walking back and forth, and he's slightly invisible from time to time, but it's easy to find him, and it's incredibly easy to take him out. I mean, he literally fights you with a camera. That's the battle. For Paper Mario games and Mario RPG games, it's hard to really not pick mini bosses since lots of bosses are mini bosses in these games. So, you know what? The rule's out the window for these. For Paper Mario Sticker Star, I chose Chain Chomp because all you have to do is use a couple attacks, I guess, to wake it up. And after a couple of turns, it will rush you and hit you with damage. And then, you know, exit the battle. That's it. It's used as a plot device in order to get you to the end of the level, and then that's it. For Paper Mario Color Splash, it's between the Black Shy Guy and also Big Lava Bubble, because these are both extremely easy to gimp and defeat very fast. And in Paper Mario The Origami King, I chose Macho Pokey, which you're just driving around a desert in a car and bumping into this Pokey when it's landing on the ground. It's super easy to dodge the attacks, and you have a giant stage to work with, so it's really hard to get hit. Now jumping into the spin-offs, we have Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, and I chose Lava Queen, where I feel like the fight is mostly just between Wario and Waluigi, and then she just kind of sits at the top and fires aimlessly in the background. She really doesn't do that much damage, she doesn't have any special attacks, she's not that hard to defeat. And in Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, I chose the Giant Goomba, which literally moves like 2 tiles at a time, and you can just absolutely demolish him from a distance. I remember defeating him and thinking this was a special boss. I don't understand. Next up, we move on to the Mario Party games with Mario Party DS. Hammer Bros kind of just a copy what you see game. Like Simon says, you just hit the drums in the order that the notes appear, which is just pretty easy. Now, a lot of these are, once again, Mario Party boss battles, so they're just mini games that you play with your friends. It's hard to find difficulty in some of these, but I'd say for Mario Party 9 is definitely Wiggler. All you're doing is jumping on his back as he's walking through the woods. There's really no obstacles or any way to like really find this difficult in any way. In Mario Party 10, King Boo's boss battle is very straightforward. You just do some very incredibly easy platforming in order to make your way to the end of each path and shine your light. In Mario Party Island Tour, Chain Chomp is a literal joke where you can slowly walk around the stage and you will never take an ounce of damage. You just have to lead him to jump into the metal gates in order to drop him into the lava. And in Mario Party Star Rush, I chose Blooper because it's very similar to Hammer Bro in Mario Party DS, where you're just kind of playing a song and copying what you hear. Next, we move on to the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games with Donkey Kong 94, which is the second boss in the game, Big City DK. This one is not hard at all you do is pick up the barrels, take them up a couple of flights, and then hit him with the barrel in order to knock him down, and you do this a couple times and he's gone. In Mario vs. Donkey Kong for the GBA, he really doesn't add anything different with Fire Mountain, because all he does is chuck barrels and also now some lava rocks occasionally, but there's nothing else on the stage that actually can hurt Mario, so it's really easy to take Donkey Kong out. Just wait for the barrel, take it up to the top just like Donkey Kong 94 and hit him in the head. In Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, the roof DK towards the end of the game is an extremely easy boss battle. It's kind of a classic recreation of the original Donkey Kong, and it's very easy to complete. All you have to do is guide these mini Marios and you have pretty much full control over them, moving them to the left, to the right, or even making them jump, and you can even grab hammers in order to hit the barrels, and yes, you can even walk on the barrels as they're rolling, making this nowhere near as hard as it looks. Plus, you get 6 of these mini Marios in order to hit Donkey Kong with, so yeah, you're not going to be losing this one often. In Minis March Again, I chose Magnet Mania DK, where all he's doing is sticking his head out of pipes, and you probably won't take damage. You can see the fireballs coming and they all fall vertically, so all you have to do is scoot out of the way, and Donkey Kong sticks his head out for a very long time. So odds are you're going to hit him and you're going to take him out very quick. And in Mini Land Mayhem, I chose Sandstorm Steps DK, which is also extremely easy because you have control of not only the girders, but the stairs, which allows you to make paths directly to where you need to go, and there's not that many enemies on the stage. The only enemy that really spawns are some fireballs from oil drums at the top of the stage. They're very easy to dodge. Now we move on to the final Mario spin-offs. With Yoshi's Island, we have Sluggy the Unshaven. He just slowly scoots forward to knock you off the stage, and that's his only attack. All you have to do is spam eggs towards the middle, and about 3 eggs will allow you to hit his heart if you throw them perfectly, and that's it. You just do this a couple times and he's gone. Yoshi's Island, we have Big Guy the Stilted, which is another one where you can just spam eggs. But actually, this time you're not really spamming eggs, you're spamming fireballs from Baby Bowser, and that's it. You just keep doing this in order to knock him into the lava and ground pound on his head. It's extremely easy and more tedious because you have to wait for him to be airborne for him to actually knock off the platform, but yeah, there's not much of a threat at all here. For Yoshi's New Island, Furious Fred de Filet is nowhere near furious. It's actually very gentle and easy. He slowly comes out of the lava, giving you plenty of time to ground pound a thing on his head, and then you hit him with an egg when he comes back up again. That's it. There's really no attacks besides some occasional jumping out of the lava, which is easy to see him do so, and then also the occasional lava wave that will slowly go across the screen horizontally. Super Princess Peach, we have King Boo, which is incredibly easy because you don't even have to touch him. All you have to do is light the remaining unlit torches in the room and you're done. It's not even hard to get away from him, it's just super easy. Let's finish this off with some Luigi's Mansion. In Luigi's Mansion 1, we have Madame Clairvoya, which is hard to even put in the boss category because, yes, A, she's a portrait ghost, which isn't technically a boss in this game, and B, you don't really fight her. All you do is have some dialogue with her, collect all Mario's stuff, and she lets you take her, which is weird. But if you actually had to pick a boss, I'd probably say Big Boo is the easiest, since there's only like technically 3 main bosses in this game. Big Boo is pretty simple. All you do is drag them into the unicorn horn, pop them, and then freeze the little boos that are in the air. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon would definitely be the harsh possessor ghost, which just possesses some stairs. I don't understand what they were thinking here. It's incredibly easy, so easy to get out of the way of, because you can see a giant shadow on the ground when he jumps in the air, and all you have to do is pull a rope in order to pull the ghost out, and then boom, you do this 3 times, you're good to go. Yeah, possessing a staircase just wasn't the smartest idea. And then finally we have Luigi's Mansion 3. Everybody's probably favorite boss ghost is probably the easiest, however, because I don't know how you want to place this, which is the actual boss fight, when you just suck them up in the room, or when you actually do the Godzilla Kaiju fight. Either way, they're both extremely easy. They're more cinematic and fun than they are difficult, which is fine, but it's just incredibly easy in order to take both of these guys down. And that was the easiest boss battle from every single Mario game, with a whopping total of 55 different bosses. Of course, this series is coming to an end because we're running out of things to rank at this point. I mean, right now, the last thing we have on the list is the weirdest Mario boss battles left, but if you guys can think of another category before we move on to another franchise, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And just as a quick recap of what we've done so far, we've done the best bosses from each game, the worst bosses from each game, and the hardest bosses from each game, and today, obviously, the easiest boss from each game. So I want to do next the weirdest or strangest boss from next game, and if you guys have any more ideas, just feel free to comment them down below and they could be taken in consideration. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy videos like this and want to see more, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario and Nintendo in general. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.